Yes, I am. I'm Mary Brandt. I'm the president of the Capital Region Veterans Memorial Project.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Legacy Project?
Yes, so the Legacy Project was formed back in 2015. We are a 501c3. We obtained that status in 2017. I joined the project actually in 2016 when I retired from my civilian job and my military job, both with 27 and a half years. I was an Air Force flight nurse. I brought wounded soldiers home, and for 21 plus of my 27 and a half years. And that's why this project is so near and dear to me. I actually met our VFW commander, Larry Zeglin. He is a Vietnam War veteran, and he is one of the founders in 2015. I joined my first VFW meeting a month after I retired, and he didn't know anything about me, but he said, "You seem like somebody that might be able to get something done." And hence I said, "You got 5 years," and I'm still on the project. So I'm thrilled that I was in the right place at the right time to find out about this amazing project and the amount of veterans that we hopefully can help that are struggling right now. You know that some people have made out better than others with their service for various reasons. And we feel that this is going to be a safe place for them to come. We've just completed phase one. We actually had the land donated to our project from the town in September of 2021. And then in February of 23, there was a house that was on the property, and the town purchased that house and asked us if we wanted that as well. So if you were to come out to the property, it's on the corner of Dutch Meadows and Route 50 going into Scotia. Over 3 plus a few months time, you will see a house that has been converted into a resource room, so we can guide our veterans to some of the benefits they're entitled to that they may not be aware of. We have a computer room that was donated to the project by Larry's son, the establishment that he works for. And we have a beautiful lounge. It used to be an awful looking garage that we converted into a place where they can come. There's a big screen TV, a few recliners, light food. In the back, if you're to go outside of the back of the house and cross over our dead end street, there is 7 major conflicts that currently have at least 2 benches on each of them, starting with World War I and ending up with Afghanistan. We had our ribbon cutting in May of 2024. And by November, we actually opened up the doors to our veterans to be able to come in and spend some time with us. When we had our ribbon cutting in May, we decided we would try to complete the Vietnam pod. Most of our VFW posts are from the Vietnam era. And if you were to walk on the Vietnam pod when the weather gets better, you will see 3 benches actually on that particular pod. There's a battlefield cross, which is a helmet, rifle, and boots, which is, if I were to stand up, which is about as tall as I am. And there's a beautiful granite monument that's about 8 foot tall, and it depicts all the areas that the soldiers served in during Vietnam. And then there's all the branches of the services flags. So that is a concept of what all these other 6 major pods will look like. And then we have an area that is for our POW MIA, which is near our amphitheater that the town put in for us this past year. And we actually met a gentleman at on a Veterans Day over in Shenandoah. The children picked our project to donate funds towards. And there was a gentleman that I met, and his name is Stephen, and he actually was a guard of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. He did that for 2 years. He wanted to meet with us. He met with us, and he will be coming to our project on Memorial Day, and he'll be doing a little bit of a presentation on what it was like to do that type of duty. Right now, we're collecting funds for phase 2, which we think is even going to be more helpful for our veterans, and that is to put a cafe, a welcome center, and a military museum in our backyard. That's what makes us a little bit more unique. All the monuments and those areas that you see around the country are really beautiful, but we are kind of unique where we have the house and the resource room and computer room, but we feel by having the cafe out back that will give veterans a chance to come in and maybe the ones that weren't able to just open up to the right person for whatever reason will say, for example, look at you and say, you start talking to me and I decide I'm going to start talking to you. And maybe we can try to prevent one of the 22 suicides that are occurring every day from occurring by knowing we're there. We had a beautiful experience. Like I said, we opened in November, probably about 2 months ago. I was at the house doing some work and the house was open. We're open currently from on Monday through Friday from 12 to 4. Come springtime, I'm currently working up a schedule that we will be hopefully open from 9 to 4 Monday through Sunday. But what I was getting at is I happened to walk down into the lounge and this gentleman had walked in and he was a Vietnam vet and he just literally sat down and started crying and saying, I can't believe you guys did this for us. And that's what made it so rewarding for all of us to be donating. None of us get paid. The only people we currently pay is we have an accountant that we hired a couple years ago, and we pay that person.
Wow. So it sounds like it's more than a memorial that you might find in a lot of towns and a lot of places. It's got that aspect. It's commemorating those who served, but it's also a fully fledged resource center for vets to try to help the people who are living here now to access whatever it is that they need.
Right. We have different people that have specialties, and we have a lot of resources where we'll give them choices. Like, let's say they don't understand what medical benefits are entitled to. We have booklets that we can guide them to. We can get names out to people that are like veteran service officers that have that kind of knowledge. We are a resource. We are not a treating facility. Many of us are, we have a mixture on our team, our board, probably about half of us, maybe a little bit more, are veterans. And then we have civilians that have asked, can we be part of the team? And absolutely. The team is whoever is willing to take and want to do this as much as we want to do to help our military out.
Okay. So where do I send interested people to learn more?
So we have a website. It's the capital CAPITAL region veterans with an S, but no apostrophe, memorial.org. And there's a lot of different links. It tells you what projects we have coming up for fundraising. If you want to be a sponsor, we have a sponsor page, and if people donate anything from $500 on up, they will be on our page so people realize that they contributed to our project. We have a golf tournament coming up in June. We have obviously what you invited us to at the Scottish Games, and we're very grateful for you picking us. Let's see, we have a bowling tournament coming up. We have constantly different things coming up. We have a band that's planning on playing for us in June. And like I said, the town put this beautiful amphitheater in that's on the property as well. And if you were to go by the site on Dutch Meadows and Route 50, you'll see the flags of all the various services, branches of the service. We do have another area two more areas that I forgot to mention. When we first went out and did our very first presentation, Larry Zeglin is our vice president and our VFW commander. We learned right away that it wasn't just the 7 major wars that people went to. They went to Bosnia, they went to Kosovo, all these other non-major. So we do have it's called non-expeditionary, and that's also located on our site. And then about a year and a half ago, we had a Mason that joined our team, and he said that his team wanted to put in an area of reflection. So for those struggling with PTSD. So he came to one of our meetings, said, can we have part of the land? We'd like to put this area in. And we said, by all means. So we do have an area of reflection as well. We have a board. It's actually 6 acres of land that was donated to the project. Again, it is town property, but they are allowing us to do all the stuff that we're talking about. We have what I'm going to call a boardwalk out back. It's the boardwalk is about a quarter mile around, but there are some wetlands that we had to work around for quite a while. And right now you'll see planking. If you were to go down Dutch Meadows, the town put in all this planking, and it's like really long. So we're very grateful. We teamed with the town. They love the project. We've had people I'm going to give you an example. So when I say we completed phase 1 of the project, which is what I described in the house, we had to widen doorways to make them ADA accessible with wheelchairs. Our bathroom, we totally had to redo. We ended up pulling up carpets so that gentlemen and ladies that are in wheelchairs, walkers, don't trip on the carpet. So we had various organizations that came and donated their time putting the flooring down, and we just had to pay for the materials. And everything that I just described to you, we did with all of us volunteering and a lot of the community coming in to support us. And I would be probably shouldn't just name a couple because there was many, and I don't want to leave anybody out. But we did everything that we're talking about under $40,000. So we were really, really thrilled. We're really very conscious about how we're spending money that people are donating to us. Phase 2 that I mentioned to you, the Cafe Welcome Center and Military Museum, because of COVID, as you're well aware, everything has like gone up. We are looking at possibly $1 million to do what I'm describing in the backyard. But if we are blessed with the organizations that helped us save the amount of money that I just described to you in part 1 or phase 1, we're hoping it's going to come in under that. Right now we're working with a couple different architects it's going to be like a Army field tent. That's going to be the design of it. And we're working to try to figure out who we're going to hire and how to save the most money and yet get a good product for the backyard. Yeah, we probably have about, I'm right now, like I mentioned, I'm doing the scheduling. We probably have about 40 volunteers that are offering to either take a permanent schedule Monday to Friday. Right now we're open 12 to 4. We tried to open weekends 9 to 12, but this was really the bad time of the year to do that with all the snow and stuff. So the other thing that I forgot to mention is each of the areas out back have a history element that we put together. And it explains for the generations to follow what is the difference between, for example, World War I and Korea. So it's World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and then Iraq, Afghanistan, Desert Storm, and then, like I said, the non-expeditionary areas, the POW/MIA, and then the reflection area.
Come join us on Saturday, May 24th at the Great Sacandaga Brewing Company. Cheer on Team Blue and support the Capital Region's Veterans Memorial. We
will definitely be there. We're honored to be there. We also have an email. It's called the C is in cat, R, V is in Victor, M is in Mary @gmail.com. So the CRBM @gmail.com. People can email me if they're interested in volunteering now before the Scottish Games start in May. The other thing is we're really very happy to come out and do presentations to various organizations that want to learn more about us. So again, if they just email us at that email, I will be the one that will be responding to those. And we look forward to meeting anyone that is as anxious or as energetic about this project as we are.